Imagine this. It's 2012. We all thought the world was gonna end. Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen is blasting every 10 fucking minutes on every radio station in your nearby area. The Mars rover Curiosity lands on Mars. London hosts the 2012 Summer Olympic Games. Tartar sauce, or more famously known as Grumpy Cat, is birthed into the world and causing millions upon millions of reshares and memes of that format. And Barack Obama is still in office. This is also the year that my 12-year-old self got into the absolute behemoth of a webcomic known as Homestuck. Yes, this is a Homestuck video. And yes, it is a Homestuck video that literally nobody asked for, but here we go. Buckle up, my homosexuals. Today we are going to be discussing the webcomic that took the internet by the horns and fucked it to death in a bucket for 7 years, dominating sites like Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube with its sheer amount of bull fuckery. When I say it was big, I mean it was big. It was like the size of Texas. No, it's the size of New York, really. No, it is the size of your mom's dick. Hold on. Are you familiar with Jupiter? Like the planet? Yeah, well, it was that big. Yes, sir, the internet was literally under siege by the planet fucking Jupiter. So anyway, what is Homestuck? Well, let me tell you about
Hey there, would you like to talk about Homestuck? Please don't walk away from me, I'm not that kind of guy, you see. Hey there, would you like to talk about Homestuck?
Homestuck was a multimedia webcomic that started in 2009 on April 13th. It started off with the creator Andrew Hussey doing all of the writing and drawing himself, but later a whole team of people got behind the project, most of which started off as fans of the comic in the first place. It mainly focuses on John Egbert and his 3 other friends, Rose Lalonde, Dave Strider, and Jade Harley, who play a game that destroys all of existence and also creates it while also being a coming-of-age story slash sci-fi adventure slash comedy slash drama slash fantasy. It's complicated. That's the simplest explanation that I can give without spoiling literally everything. It has fucking like 8 billion fucking characters. It's long as fucking hell. Like, it's well over 8,000 pages long, and it has more than 800,000 fucking words in it. It has one of the most needlessly complicated mindfucks of a plot that will 100% give you whiplash. Hope you have good health insurance to cover it. There's also playable sections of the comic. There's GIFs, there's animation, there's choose your own adventure type sequences. It has everything. Saying Homestuck was just a webcomic just feels like a huge understatement. It was more like an experience, if we're being honest. So, what drew me into it? When I found out what Homestuck was, I was browsing YouTube on my fucking iPod Touch, watching Adventure Time fan videos. Yes, I was that kind of person. I was young. Sue me. A video popped up in my recommended called Ask Dem Homestucks. It was a dub of a Homestuck ass blog. It was short, it was sweet, and it was silly, and I loved it. Before these videos, I had never heard of Homestuck, but I wanted to know more about it after watching these videos, because they were funny, and there was also so much fucking art related to Homestuck, so I had to find out more. I attempted to read the comic, and then I had to stop. I could not read it at the time. It was too much to digest. Then, about a week or so later, I tried again. And I failed. Finally, after the third attempt, I told myself I'm going to try this again, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. And I was able to really start reading it. I got completely caught up to the latest page of it at the time. It ate up so much of my fucking time. But I was hooked. It became my newest micro obsession to latch and leech onto. I started making fucking fan art, watching only comic dubs online. Fuck, I even did cosplay of it once. I'll put a picture of it on screen if I can find it. No, I was not one of those bitches that got gray paint everywhere and harassed con-goers, but that's a whole other conversation for another time. Homestuck was everything that I ever could have wanted out of a piece of media. One reason why I loved it was the fucking characters. Literally all of the characters. The characters in Homestuck are so dynamic and fun and interesting, and it all comes out with the dialogue that they have with one another. Homestuck is very much a dialogue-driven story. There are fucking walls and walls of fucking text dialogue back and forth between, most of the time, only two fucking characters. And it's on a majority of the pages. You can see why it's so long now. Yes, it can be a bit much to do at first, and I can see why a lot of people were turned away from it, but I, and many others, fucking loved it. There are so many quotable lines that still make me snort to this day. And not to mention the world building and the lore behind the story is some of the most impressive and ambitious shit I have ever seen. The art, fucking amazing. You may not think so because it looks like this. Like on the first page you're greeted with this. And, you know, you think, oh, this is probably fucking shit. But when I say it gets better, I really do mean it gets better. This is also an image that is in the same fucking comic. Fuck you, this is gorgeous. There's also a lot of fan-made art in the comic itself, and that was something that I had never seen anybody do before. I thought it was so fucking rad that there is a creator that cares about his audience so much that he lets them in on the project that the fans themselves love. I thought it was just fucking spectacular, and it gave me hope as a young artist to make fan art and just make art in general, because it was like, wow, one day somebody will notice this. A fucking big time creator like fucking Andrew Hussey noticed all these people and brought them into the comics, so I could also do something like that. And then there's the fucking music. Yeah, no, on top of all this, on top of all of this shit, Homestuck has music. And no, it's not just like one fucking album or something. There's like fucking 10. All the music is clearly inspired by video game 8-bit background music. Some of my personal favorites have to be Air of Grief, Dance of Thorns, Candles and Clockwork, Mother, Suburban Jungle, Pumpkin Party at Sea, Hitler's Water Apocalypse. Yes, that's an actual song. It has the best title out of anything. Black Rose / Green Sun, Gold Pilot, Descend, and Carcat's theme. I recommend everyone to go listen to it if you're at all interested in video game OST tracks. A good place to listen to all of this is, oh god, I'm gonna butcher the name of this. Illuminate, I guess I'll fucking spell it out right here. Go to their channel. They are basically the official, unofficial radio station with all things Homestuck. It's fantastic. Also, fucking Toby Fox worked and made music for Homestuck. Megalovania's first draft can be heard in some of the tracks, but I digress. Beyond the art, beyond the characters, beyond the story, beyond the music, beyond fucking everything, I really think that one of the biggest reasons why I was so drawn to Homestuck was it made me feel better. 2012 was a hard year for me. I had just moved across the country again. My home life was hectic and overall not okay. My parents were getting a divorce, among other things that were happening. I had gone through some really traumatic and heavy shit and was still learning on how to process it. Puberty was starting for me, and to top it all off, I didn't have any friends. Like at all. So you know what you do when you're a sad, traumatized, lonely, confused preteen? You go on the internet for an escape. Previously, television was my escape. That's where my love for cartoons had started, because my favorite cartoon characters were my only friends. But when I moved into an environment with people who didn't let me have control of what was on TV. So I went on the internet for entertainment and escape. When I joined the Homestuck community, I didn't feel alone anymore. How could I feel alone in a community as large as fucking Homestuck's? The period between 2012 and 2015 was probably when the community was at its largest, and the shit that came out was nothing to just give a passing glance at. So much fucking content came out of the community. It's mind-boggling. It's fucking insane. We got memes, paintings, fan art, fan comics, animations. I suggest watching the series Sugoi Quest for Kokoro, After Us, and Lullaby for the Gods. It's some good shit. And video edits, mountains of fucking fan fiction, cosplays, shitposts galore, covers of popular songs but done in the voice of one of the characters, or straight up just songs inspired by the comic itself, dubs of the fan comics, fan dubs of the comic itself at one point. Fuck it, there was even a thriving and growing community of voice actors in the community. And porn. Like, there was so much fucking porn. I think my first introduction to porn was me just looking up Dave Cat in Google Images and, oh shit, there's a tentacle dick in my face now. There was so much content to consume that you could not be bored with it. You could not be bored because there was so much of it to take in, and new shit was coming out fucking daily. Now, I took a more passive role in the community. I never posted my fan art or even leave comments on posts of videos or just art and shit that I was consuming. I wasn't allowed to have any sort of social media, and I was really paranoid that if I made one, my family would somehow find it and I would get in trouble. I still kind of have that fear, but I have lots of fucking socials now. Hee hee ho ho. So I was just there watching all this happen, essentially. Probably for the best, though, because I know I probably would have done something embarrassing at 13, and it would live on forever because the internet never forgets. Plus, all I wanted to do at the time was just post my fan art, and looking back at my 13-year-old Homestuck shipping fan art that I drew in graphite pencil on lined pieces of paper from my notebook that I should have been taking notes on in school. Looking back at that, as I'm about to turn 20, I'm glad no one ever got to see it because it was absolute dog shit. I just told myself that one day I would be as good as my favorite fan artist and I would get lots of money from commissions online, just like them. Yeah, you can see how that's not the case now. I was a stupid kid. Speaking of fan artists, I learned a lot about art. I got so many tips and tricks just by looking at the fan art by my favorite artists online. Something that I tell a lot of people when it comes to developing a distinct art style is to just fucking take bits and pieces of what you like in other people's art, mash it all together, and Frankenstein your way into making your own art style. 'Cause that's literally what I did. And I guess it worked out well for me. I don't know. I like to think that I have a pretty distinct art style, though I don't even know how to describe my art style. I've been told it's webcomic-y. I still don't know what that means, but fuck it. I'll go with it. It's webcomic-y. 10 out of 10. In summary, growing up in the Homestuck community was so much fun and really impactful on my life, especially growing up in the environment that I was growing in. It really helped me a lot. But like everything, it all comes to an end. April 13th, 2016, Homestuck finally came to an end. And I fucking cried. Honestly, I never thought that it was ever going to end. I had no idea how it could ever end. Like, there were so many fucking things going on in the story that I was like, there's no way. There's no way that, like, anybody could write their way out of this. It's gonna go on for fucking ever. Like, the Homestuck was long as fuck, and it was particularly known for being long as fuck and feeling like it's gonna last a lifetime. Part of the fun of being a fan of Homestuck was honestly the waiting, the long ass pauses where we would all just fucking sit around, theorize about just what the absolute flying fuck is gonna happen next, draw fan art, write fan fictions, make videos, shit post, and like that, it was all over. Just like that. I'm not gonna go into a deep dive of what exactly happened in the finale. I would suggest just fucking watching the video itself, which you can still find up on the official Homestuck YouTube page. Even if you don't give a shit about Homestuck or the characters or the story or anything, I would still recommend watching the finale, because as a work of art, it is absolutely breathtaking. The animation in this piece further cemented that I wanted to go into the animation field, just because I got so motivated from it. I wanted to create something as immaculate as this. Like, it's fucking gorgeous. All you have to do is fucking watch it. It's really hard to explain, but just fucking watch it as a work by itself. And that'll possibly get you to fucking read it if you haven't fucking read it. If you don't read it, I don't blame you. It's long and difficult. Now, when it comes to how the comic ended, I was also satisfied with it. It was everything I really could have asked for when it came to a finale. Everyone who I wanted to get together got together. Everyone who I wanted to survive and beat this fucking needlessly ridiculous game that literally ate up these characters' lives survived and made it to the end. Not everybody was happy with this, and there was literally no way to make it so that everyone would be happy with the ending. There were too many characters to just give happy endings to, so a lot of them honestly did not make the cut. So if your favorite character never made it to the end of the game after years, like fucking years, of hoping that somehow they would, but it just getting dashed into the fucking rocks and shit, you get crushed and annihilated out of any hope that they're gonna fucking make it out. Yeah, I can see of how you would be upset. Of course you'd be upset. Overall, I was, and still am, fine with how it ended. It was a good last page to this huge ass fucking chapter in my life. Now, to all the Homestuck fans who may be watching this, yes, I saw the Snapchat epilogue. No, I have not read the Homestuck epilogues or Homestuck Squared Beyond the Canon. After the Snapchat stories, I considered the story to have ended. I have no idea what fucking happens in the quote-unquote sequels. Heard not a lot of people were vibing with it in general, and I've just heard negative things about it, but that's just hearsay. It could be good, I don't know, but just hearing all that just made me less motivated to read it, and plus I was done. Emotionally and mentally, I had moved on. Homestuck takes a lot out of you, man. It's long, it's lengthy, and yeah, that is one of the main appeals. Like, it's fucking long as fuck, and there's so much to dive into. But things are different now. I'm in college. I have 3 jobs. Priorities have changed. And, like, personally, I don't think Homestuck was ever really made to have a sequel. The original is fucking wonderful by itself, and it's not like I want to see Andrew Hussey and the team behind everything to fail and not have success. It's like, no, I do want them to have success. It's just that I want them to make things other than Homestuck, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I hope I don't get attacked over saying this, but Homestuck is dead. It's fucking dead. It died peacefully. It's like I attended Homestuck's death. I witnessed Homestuck dying, and then I attended Homestuck's funeral lovingly. I put on a nice tux and went there. I cried my eyes out over the casket as it was lowered into the ground. I said my goodbyes. I left roses at the headstone, and I moved on bittersweetly. You know, it's like it was sad for it to end, but I moved on from it. It's like watching your family pet die. It's like, yeah, it's very sad and all that shit, but you know, you move on from it. And right now I've moved on, so it would be really difficult for me to like emotionally put myself forward to, you know, read the after canon content, as is what I'm just going to refer to it from now on, you know. I have also not played Hive Swap. When it came out, I was 17. I was entering my senior year. And I had family members who I knew would not approve of buying me anything video game related. And plus, I knew that they would not like it because it features creatures that have horns. And to my family, anything that has horns is of the devil. Though I have heard the soundtrack and, Old Secret slaps. So here I am, April 13th, 2020, 11 years after the initial launch of Homestuck in 2009, and 4 years after the ending of the series. I am here just left to reflect on how all of this entire fucking webcomic has affected me today. And it may sound really fucking silly, but Homestuck has left such a huge impact on my life. And it makes more sense when you think about how I was a fan of this during some of the most informative years of someone's development. Fucking 12 to 15, like, early teenage years and all that shit. Being into Homestuck was really important during this time period, and it still does affect me today. Homestuck influenced how I draw. Homestuck influenced how I write stories, especially characters. Homestuck influenced how I compose music. I compose music now and shit just because I got inspired off of all the fucking music I would listen to because of this fucking comic. My biggest influences in my artistic life are like Adventure Time, Homestuck, and the artists that I grew up watching online. A lot of them are still around making art too. Shubabang, who was known for her comics, still makes comics to this day. Another big Homestuck artist who even got her art in the official comic itself, Ikmaru, she still makes art. Like, still fucking does it. Though it's mostly Legend of Voltron stuff now. I wasn't expecting her to make Homestuck art for the rest of her life, but just, yeah, that's what she's doing now. We got fucking Rue Gemini, who now goes by Ringtail, is still around making work. Toasty Hat, also known as Empty Feet, now goes by Toasty Glow, and is a fucking professional storyboard artist at Powerhouse Animation Studios now. Holy shit. I can't say, like, the same for most of the people who were, like, in the voice acting community that was, like, really active in Homestuck. Like, Senior Pac-Man is more active on Twitter than YouTube. Looks like, Octopimp just does Twitch streams now and hasn't uploaded in, like, 3 years. Same is the case for Kylie Henke. The best Terezi voice actress, Althea P, seems to have just said fuck it to her YouTube, because she hasn't done shit in 4 years. She has a Twitter, though. A common theme that seems to be very present here is that everybody just fucks off to Twitter. My favorite voice actor for Carcat, Hi, Case, makes fucking music now, and it's rad. Please go check them out. Please go listen to their music. They're on Spotify. They're on fucking YouTube, Twitter. It literally just look up Hi, I'm Case, and you'll have a great fucking time. All these people meant so much to me when I was younger. And I doubt that they'll ever see this or even care that I made this, but I just want to put this out into the world. I thank you. Thank you all so much. And in conclusion, Homestuck shaped me as a person. Homestuck means a lot to me. Yes, I'm probably looking at this with rose-tinted glasses, and it's just all nostalgia for me, and I do feel very cathartic whenever I think about this. But I don't give a shit. Homestuck will forever have a special little place in my heart, and I will treasure it till I'm like fucking dead and shit. So, shout out and big thank you to Andrew Hussey, all the fucking people who worked on the fucking music, the art, the game designs, all the fucking fan artists, fan writers, voice actors out there, people who, just the entire community. I just want to say thank you. Thanks for everything. Thank you all so much for staying tuned for this pretty sad video. If I look back at it, I kind of got a little deep in there, but you know, whatever. I felt like doing something for 413 because I never do anything for 413, even though like this has been such a huge thing for me. But now I figure is a better time than ever, since there's this little virus going around called COVID-19. You may have heard of it, and it has made me go into quarantine because I live in one of the biggest cities in the world, and there's a shelter in place order. So now I'm stuck at home. I can't go to physical class or one of my other jobs. Hello, unemployment, how are you? So yeah, I figured since I'm here, I might as well do something. I can't use the excuse of I don't have the time to do it, because I have all the time in the world to do everything. So here we are. Thank you for staying tuned to view all this. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you like me or like what I do, like the art that I've posted in this video, you can check me out on all of my other social medias. Shameless plug time. You can find me on Instagram, Vivid Rogue. You can also find me on Twitter. It's technically still Vivid Rogue, but it has a weird spelling. It's _Vivid_Rogue. You can also find me on Tumblr. It's also Vivid Rogue. Can you tell that I purposefully chose to have all my social media have the same sort of handle so it would be easier to find me? Yay! So if you like what I do, come check me out. On Twitter, you'll see me shitpost more, because on Twitter I am feral. I'm more professional on my Instagram, but yeah. maybe I'll try and be more active on this channel some more in the coming months or so, since I'm literally stuck inside. What else am I gonna fucking do? Maybe not. It depends on how life goes. It also depends on if my crippling depression says, hey, you're gonna actually be creative and shit today or not. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope you are all staying safe. I hope you are all staying healthy. Have a wonderful day. Happy 413, and I hope to see you in the next video. Alright. Goodbye. Fuck.